I'm not going to do any editing on these. I'm just going to push them up raw. So if there's something you missed, you're going to have to dig through them and find it. I will be making some more targeted videos on some things that we do as we get closer to the end. All right. So I did up from the other day, the last time we met, which was the 8th. I did upload those videos, P4 and P5. I think on 4, I forgot to stop it when I was done, and so it's a little bit longer. But I have 2 classes, and we pretty much cover the same thing. So either video should work for you, but try to watch the one in your class. All right, so that's going. And that's on my YouTube channel, which you should be able to find with just by looking for Miles Blakeney. And also, there's plenty of links already in the classroom that'll take you to videos in there, and then you can just click on it. So you should subscribe, so that because that's where all of the stuff that I do videos for this class end up. All right, today we are building content for the home page. Okay, so now we've got our basic structure of our HTML portfolio, but now it's time to start building it and actually making it look like a web page. And what do you need when you have a web page? You got to have content. So when if you work in this industry, if you're the coder, you might have somebody else that does all the content, and they just give it to you, and you put it into the website and get it in the right spot. That's if you're in a really big company. If you're not in a really big company, it's usually you are. If you're the web page person, that means that you're building the web page and providing all the content and all of that, which is a little bit harder. All right, so today's assignment, we're going to make content for the home page. You're going to create a paragraph describing your website. Should start with something like, the purpose of this website is to. And what is the purpose of this website? It is to showcase what you've learned in this class. Okay? And so you should talk about CSS. What is that? You should talk about HTML. And we're going to have we're actually going to create a CSS page and talk about what that code looks like on an HTML page and a few other pages. So that menu on the side is going to grow, and we'll talk about how to do that as well. But today I just want to get some content into your home page. So here's some ideas, but remember, this is your web page. Make it personal. So it's going to showcase what you've learned, but you're also going to showcase West Valley High School a little bit. That's why we created a West Valley page. And you're going to probably have a contact link off of that. And so on. And we'll talk about how to do that. When complete, place it inside your div content on the index. Now, personally, I'd just create it there. But if you want to create it outside in a document, get all the spell checking and all that, you can do it there. But personally, I'd place it inside a p tag. That should be place, not plays. And with the last thing, or before we get started, we're going to create a couple CSS classes to have different size and different fonts. And I usually make a couple of these generic ones that I can use for different things throughout my web page. All right, so here we go. So go ahead and open Replit if you have not done so already. Okay, so let's open Replit. And make sure you're using Teams So on my side, I should be able to see all you guys' submission or your work. You don't have to submit it until we're done. And I should have my alter ego in here. There it is. So this is, I'm editing my, I have a student account as well in this so that I can simulate what you guys are doing, but I'm just going to work. Nice thing about the Teams is I can actually work on your code directly. It doesn't, what they call fork it, doesn't make a copy of it. Okay. So we're going to be working with the index file today and the style file today. So I'm actually going to click on the three dots next to style and open it in its own tab. So I have them both open at the same time. I just like working that way. You don't have to, but it makes jumping back and forth between two files much nicer, especially if we're going to be creating some code in the CSS that we're going to use in the index. All right, down at the very bottom. Okay, we already created a code for the title. I'm going to make a quick comment. /* formatting classes, because I put all my, I use a lot of these in my coding. I make different sizes and different font colors, and then I can use them as I need them. All right, so the first one I'm going to do is this is going to be for the P, and I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to make it 30 pixels. So I'm going to rename, I'm going to name my class that actually means something. So I'm going to have my curly brackets. All right, so font size is 30, colon, 30 pixels. And a color is going to be white. Now I don't always like to use white because if I lose my background or whatever, sometimes you lose, the CSS goes haywire and you lose that. Well, if you have white text and you've lost the background colors, then you have white on white, and it's it can be hard to see. So I'm going to create another one called P yellow, and I'm going to make this one 50. I could have cut and paste. I probably should have, because it's basically the same thing. I'm just changing a few things. So font size on this one is going to be 50. The color is going to be yellow on this one. Okay. Again, since they're classes, we can use them just about anywhere. I can use them. I don't have to use them just on the P tag. In fact, sometimes I don't even put the P on there. I just make it white 30 and yellow 50, and so that I can use those when needed. Oops, I almost forgot the PX. I think it defaults to pixels, but I don't ever like to leave anything to chance. Okay. Okay, back on the index. So now I have a couple classes. Remember, I started those with the period. That's how I know they're a class. So I'm going to come down here to my content. Here's my content. And right now I have an H1 in there. So I'm going to get rid of the H1 because I'm going to use the P paragraph. All right, so now like I said, we made these generic, so we're going to reuse them. We started them with a period, so they're a class equals open quote, and then we called it P underscore dash white dash 30, was it? Yep. That's another reason I have them both open at the same time, so I can just swap back and forth. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I'm typing in what a paragraph. This is not the paragraph. You need to come up with your own paragraph. All right. So this is just an example. Portfolio. It will. All right, let's run that and see what it looks like. All right, it's definitely white. I'm going to open it up in full page because that little thing doesn't. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Let's see what the yellow 50 looks like. I'm going to change that class from that to that. So now I should get yellow. So that's pretty big. All right. So that's why, like I said, once you get a couple of these made, you can use them all over your web page, and I usually have like 10 or so of different colors and different sizes. And then that way you're not dealing with H1s and H2s that set. I can actually set the exact size point or font size I want and the exact color I want on the fly. Okay. Also remember, this is HTML. So even if I type things on different pages, on different, where's my, do I not have a closing tag? Oh, I forgot my closing tag. Well, I'm sure that would have come back and bit me at some point. See what that looks like. Okay, so remember, this is HTML. I've got line 1, line 2 are on this, just in the showcase or in there. As I size my web page, that paragraph will change based on the width. Okay. So if I need breaks and if I need those to go to a new line, I can do two things. I can start a new paragraph, or I can put a break in there. I'm going to put a BR there. BR there. BR there. And that. And now those are on their new line. If I need two lines, I can put two breaks together. And now those are pushed down. Okay. All right. So recap what we did today in Replit. You're going to create your own paragraph. It's got to be a paragraph. I'm talking 6 or 8 lines. All right. You're going to talk about what this web page is going to do. It's going to showcase what you've learned. It's also going to showcase the school. If you're going to add other things, other pages, go ahead and put that in your description as well. Okay? You're going to place that paragraph here inside the content div in the index.html. No other pages, just this one. This is your home page. Remember, the index is the home page always. On the CSS, I created two classes, one called White 30, that's a font size of 30 with the color of white, and the other one I did, and I could switch those around so that they actually match up. But again, so I have, when I build my web pages, I build a bunch of these formatting classes for things, different things that I need. If I need it underlined or I need it, and you can combine those classes too. We'll talk about that in the next time. Okay. So this is a work day. This is what you're working on today. Any questions? The instructions should be pretty explanatory. Okay, where it goes in the index.html. Down here it will tell you I want it in the div content on the HTML. Place inside of a p tag and create the classes that change the color and the size of the content. All right, I'm going to stop the video, the class video.